The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the babyh.com and Brightech's How to Choose the Right Convertible Car Seat webinar. I'm Erica Woyster, the product educator at babyh.com, and I'm pleased to introduce Sarah Tilton, who has been a longtime partner of babyh.com. Sarah is the Child Passenger Safety Advocate at Brightech's Child Safety, Inc. As an active CPS technician, Sarah is a spokesperson for Brightech within the advocacy community, participating in child passenger safety activities at a local, state, and national level. Sarah serves in the new product development, technical, writing, and marketing teams at Brightech. In addition, she managed and developed the training curriculum for the Brightech Customer Service Department and organized and implemented permanent checking stations at Brightech during her tenure at the company. Sarah is currently active with the Safe Kids Charlotte, Mecklenburg, North Carolina, and Safety Kids York County and South Carolina coalitions, and is a member of the North Carolina Child Passenger Safety Training Committee. So Sarah, we really appreciate you taking the time, and know this presentation will be very informative, and everyone that's here today is going to enjoy it.
Well, thank you, Erica. I'm very excited to be here, sharing information and educating caregivers and moms and dads is always very exciting for me. It's a passion, and hopefully I'll share some information today that will be helpful to everyone.
Great.
So with that, I guess we'll go right ahead and get started. And I'm going to share briefly some numbers that families, people kind of find amazing, and they don't really believe it when they hear it, but they are definitely true numbers. You know, child safety seats or car seats, some refer to them as child restraints. They're ultimately so very important. They reduce fatal injury in motor vehicle crashes by 71% for infants. So that's that young child under the age of 1. And then 54% for toddlers beyond that age of 1, typically around 1 to 3. Something that most people don't know is that car seats the average misuse for a car seat is every 3 out of 4 car seats have something wrong with them. They're being installed incorrectly, or the child is secured incorrectly in them. So what's the best car seat? That is a big question that a lot of people ask. You know, ultimately most important is the car seat has to fit your child, it has to fit in your vehicle, and it has features that you as the caregiver can use correctly each and every time. So when we talk about fit your child, it needs to be appropriate for the weight and the height of your child. Many parents start out with those rear-facing only carriers, the one that snap into your strollers, but they also tend to be one of the biggest misuses because they don't move on to the next type of seat, which would be a convertible, when the child has outgrown that car seat. Fits in your vehicle. There are many things about vehicles. All vehicles are very different. They have different seat contours, meaning they're shaped differently. The seat belts are anchored in different locations. So not all car seats fit properly in every vehicle. And then easy to use. Depending on what those features are, you want to make sure that if it's a feature used to tighten the harness around the child, or it's a feature that installs, it secures the car seat in the vehicle, you want to make sure that they're features that are easy for you to use, because if they're not easy, chances are you're not going to use them correctly. And it's very important that you're able to use your car seat correctly to protect your child. There are basically 4 stages for car seats, and we refer to them here. This is from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. website that's constructed by them called safercar.gov. So birth to 12 months, a child should always ride rear facing, and that's going to be in that infant carrier or the convertible. They're then going to transition at a certain weight, depending on which seat you start out with, rear facing into a convertible, and they're going to stay in that convertible as long as they possibly can. There are some additional steps after that, somewhere in 4 to 7. Child's going to transition into a booster, and somewhere after that, between 8 and 12 years of age, they will transition into the vehicle seatbelt. But let's talk about convertibles a little bit. What is a convertible car seat? Here I'm showing you one of many that's on the market, the Britex Advocate. But a convertible car seat can be used rear facing, and then it converts to a forward facing seat. And when I say converts, whether it's a Britex seat or another brand of convertible, typically there is an action or a conversion that you have to do with the car seat to make it be usable forward facing. Might be bringing the recline upward, flipping a foot on the bottom of the seat, but it does have an action. You're going to use these seats when the babies or the infants outgrow that infant-only or rear-facing seat, like I mentioned. And it's ultimately important to use these seats rear-facing until their highest weight or capacity. And as we saw in the previous chart, that could be anywhere up until they're 3 years of age. Britex convertibles go rear-facing to 40 pounds. The American Academy of Pediatrics says children are 5 times safer riding rear-facing through their 2nd year of life. So when should I move my child into a convertible car seat? Well, when they outgrow their rear-facing only seat or that infant carrier. By weight, so this particular seat is the Britex Chaperone. It goes to 30 pounds rear-facing. So when that child approaches 29 pounds, 28 pounds, it's time to move them out, because at 30 pounds, they should no longer ride in this seat. Or height. This particular seat and all the others on the market have a standing height. 32 inches in height, this child needs to come out of this car seat. And a child will outgrow a car seat by any one of these parameters. So it would be weight or height. It's not all of them at one time. And then thirdly, it would be if there happens to be less than 1 inch of height from the top of the child's head to the top of the seat shell of the car seat. Very important. So when any one of those happen, it's time to move out of that rear-facing only seat. As I mentioned, rear-facing only seats, Britex goes up to 40 pounds. Some on the market start as low as 5 pounds. Britex convertibles start at 5 pounds. And infant carriers will start lower. There are forward-facing harness seats that go up to 80, 85 pounds, the Britex Frontier. Our convertibles will go up to 70 pounds. And our convertibles go up to 49 inches in standing height. I keep saying standing height. We are also going to want to check harness height in the various seats, and that distance is if you measure from the surface that your child sits on to the top of their shoulder. Because standing height, we don't have any car seats that children stand in today. So in most of our convertibles that we offer today, with the exception of the roundabout version, the Marathon, the Boulevard, Pavilion, Advocate, all offer 10 harness positions vertically, and these would be the harness heights. So again, that's surface to the top of your child's shoulders. That will help you determine how long the child would be able to sit in it. Fits in your vehicle. So you're going to want to make sure that it fits in your vehicle. Vehicle size can be very important. If you're maybe 6 feet tall and driving a Prius, you may need to have a smaller or more compact convertible rear facing than you would need to have if you were driving a Tahoe or an excursion type vehicle. So the Britex convertibles are very compact when they're installed rear facing. There are some others that are a little bit larger. They may give you a higher weight capacity overall when you get forward facing, but in a rear facing mode might not be the best selection. Vehicle seat contour, there are various things, depth of your seating area. Some pickup trucks that have short back seats can tend to give you challenges in installations, not getting enough seat contact of the child restraint on the vehicle seat. I mentioned earlier looking at the Prius and the Tahoe, that front to back distance. So depending on where you position those front seats can play a significant role in proper fitment. Car seat features. When we go to the car dealership to purchase a new vehicle, we have all these safety features in mind that we might want to have in our new car. Side curtain airbags, bolster airbags, various features that provide extra protection to us as adults. You might want to consider some of the features, additional features in car seats that will provide additional protection. All car seats on the market today have to meet the same Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard to be sold, just like cars, but car seats, just like cars, have extra safety features as well. The base with safe cell technology that we offer on our current convertibles, during the event of a vehicle crash, as that car seat is being loaded vertically, that safe cell technology will actually compress, dropping the center of gravity for the child who's sitting in that car seat and reducing the amount of distance that they will rotate or travel forward because their center of gravity will actually be lowered. Integrated steel bars into our seats, into our convertibles. They go from the very top of that seat shell. The plastic is molded around it, so it goes all the way to the very top and all the way down to where the child's knees bend. This helps to give us a very rigid attachment, structural strength attachment to the vehicle using the latch system or the seat belt, and it also helps us to reduce and control the flexing of that car seat during a crash event. Britex offers 3 levels of side impact protection. And so our baseline of side impact protection includes that rigid shell and deep side walls. You can step up to what we refer to as true side impact. And I don't mean that by true or false. There is a definition about truing, and that is to keep the child's head, neck, and spine in vertical alignment. If you can keep those in vertical alignment, or the best that you can, it will help to reduce the injury to that child in the event of a lateral impact. And then side impact cushion technology, we have added on the outside of the car seat. These are cushions that when there is intrusion into the vehicle, it impacts this cushion. The compression of the cushion will deflect energy away from the child before that energy ever gets to the child, reducing that energy seen by that occupant by about 45%. So that's a pretty significant number. Those are not airbags. They don't inflate. It is simply a cushion that compresses. A little bit more about what's underneath the cover of these Britex seats. And many other seats on the market have similar features, maybe not all the features. So here you'll see underneath the cover of our convertible on the left where we have expanded polystyrene or propylene foams that line the seat shell and the head restraint, and that helps to absorb energy as well. In your lower right-hand corner, the gray piece, you'll see that's underneath the cover. These pictures are simply for clarity without the fabric. We as well put comfort foam under there. We call it comfort foam. It does add to the comfort of the child, but it also helps to absorb some energy. Comfort is very important when you're selecting a car seat, because if a child is not comfortable during his travels in that car seat, especially when you're on long travels, they're going to fuss and have not travel as quietly as you would like. They would be a distraction to you as a driver, but they're also not going to want to be in their car seat, and that's going to frustrate you as a parent and a caregiver. Energy absorbing VersaTether. You will find tethers on most any convertible today. Britex does offer what we refer to as the energy absorbing VersaTether. First of all, we attach the tether to 2 points of the car seat as opposed to 1. This helps in lateral rotation of that car seat in the event of a side impact. The energy absorbing stitching will release when it is attached in the event of a motor vehicle crash, and that stitching will break through. This same technology is in your vehicle seat belts, and it actually helps the body to slow down with the crash, preventing or minimizing that injury again. In July of last year, Britex brought to the market hugs with safe cell technology. So if you remember that honeycomb technology we saw in the bases, similar technology here. The hugs pads got a little bit thicker, but during the crash, as that harness is loaded, there's actually a little thickness and compression that will occur of that as the child is pushed into the hugs during that crash event, again, deferring energy away from the child. Every little component that can be in a car seat that will defer or deflect energy away from the child is energy that will not cause injury. It's very important to understand that energy, you cannot just make energy go away. It has to destroy something to come to an end, and we don't want energy to create injury. Car seat features, harness rethreading can be a very important thing. Another big misuse is harness straps not being threaded through the same harness heights. Britex does offer, and many car seat manufacturers offer, multiple variations of how you adjust the harness. The one on the left, you actually have to uninstall from the vehicle, disconnect the harness, rethread it through harness slots, and reattach it to that metal yoke. The one on the right, quick harness adjust, you simply loosen the harness and squeeze that handle and pull it up and down. You can do it while the car seat remains installed in the vehicle. A very nice ease of use feature. Call it an ease of use feature, but again, if it's not easy for you to use, you won't use it correctly each and every time. Another thing is easy remove covers. We know that small children have accidents of various types that can require us to remove that cover and clean it. And we understand some of you caregivers do not or are not comfortable installing these car seats yourself. You go out and seek help from certified technicians with this. So it's important you can remove your cover without removing the car seat from the vehicle. Britex convertibles offer this feature as well as most of our car seats, and you will find a few of similar features in other products. You just kind of lift up the top portion, rotate the bottom portion down, you can access the belt paths, and then the entire cover will slip right off. infant body pillows or positioning systems. When selecting a car seat, make sure that you understand how long these can be used. Some have restrictions about they can only be used to a certain weight or to a certain harness height. In Britex products, you can use them as long as you need them for positioning of the child. So it's not dependent on weight or harness height. One less thing that you as a caregiver have to remember when you have to stop doing something. All of our convertibles offer the easy buckle system with 2 buckle positions. So that harness strap, you can just turn it and it slides in a T or an I-shaped cutout in the shell from one harness position to the other to adjust it from the small child to the larger child, as well as the easy buckle system holds the buckle forward, as you can see on the right, for easy entry and exit of the child in the car seat. So you don't have to reach underneath the child each and every time to find that buckle. What's used to install a car seat? There are 2-point lap belts in vehicles. There are lap and shoulder belts, otherwise known as 3 points in a vehicle. Britex incorporates built-in lock-offs that would secure your lap and shoulder belt. There's also something in vehicles that were manufactured on or after September 1st, 2002 called latch, lower anchors and tethers for children. I apologize, it looks like we have just a little formatting issue here, but you can see all the pictures. And the cars will have 2 lower metal anchors in the seat bite where the back comes and meets the base. The car seats will have various types of connectors that you see on the left, and you just attach or push those connectors onto those metal anchors and take the slack out of the webbing. No need to worry about how to route the seat belt. How tightly should a car seat be installed in the vehicle? Whether you're using the latch system or a vehicle seat belt, there should be no more than 1 inch of movement left to right or front to back when you grab onto the car seat near where you put the seat belt through or the latch webbing goes through the car seat. Where should you install the car seat in the vehicle? You never want to install a rear-facing car seat in front of an active airbag. So in that number 3 area, which is your right front passenger seat, you never want to put a rear-facing seat there. Many people perceive position 5 or the center seating position of the second row to be the safest because it is the furthest from lateral impact. While this is true, we also want to make sure that we get that good, firm, correct installation, less than 1 inch of movement. Sometimes center seating positions can be very narrow. They can affect access to the buckle of your positions 4 and 6, your outboard positions. Those are some things that you want to take into consideration. If you cannot get a good, proper installation in the center, it would be better to have it in an outboard seating position. And the safest place for any child under the age of 12 is in the back seat. This isn't just us as advocates saying that, but if you flip down the visor in your vehicle, you'll see a warning there from the vehicle manufacturers as well. Recline angles and indicators, adjustment type mechanisms. For some people it's very important that they have a recline ability even forward facing. Britex convertibles offer an upright and 1 recline position forward facing, and then it is only 1 position for rear facing to maintain that proper angle for the younger child. Angle indicators can vary from car seat to car seat. Some of them use a line, which is also referred to as a static indicator. That gives you a little bit more adjustability here on the particular Britex seat. Others will use bubble indicators, like on the Carpenter level. Those don't work as well if you're not on a flat surface, so keep that in mind. How tight should your harness be around the child? Well, when you snug that harness up, you should not be able to pinch harness webbing at the child's collarbone. So on the left, it's nice and snug. On the right, it's too loose. And this time of year causes a lot of questions about winter coats. Don't dress the child in clothing any heavier than normal clothing. Maybe take their coat off when you get them to the car, or get a very thin insulated type of material. If you have questions about is the coat too thick, put the child in the car seat with the coat on, adjust the harness when you think it's tight, then without loosening the harness, take the child out, take the coat off, and put the child back in the car seat without the coat, without adjusting the harness. And then if you can pinch webbing like you see on the right, the coat is too thick. This will introduce slack and not properly secure the child in the event of a crash. The chest clip should be at armpit level. These are not belly clips. About 60% of harnesses are too loose. The chest clip actually helps to keep the harness on the child's shoulders in the event of a crash. The harness would not slide off the child's shoulders. With that, Britex offers 5 different convertibles right now at 5 different price points. Each of these include various features. So the Roundabout 55 does not have that no rethread harness. You have to change the harness heights. 5 to 40 pounds rear facing and up to 55 pounds forward facing. The Marathon brings in that no rethread harness position adjustment with 10 harness positions. The Boulevard 70 brings in that true side impact, that U-shaped head restraint, minimizing the amount of distance the child could move left to right. The Pavilion has all of that and then adds in the click and safe feature that provides an audible click when the harness is appropriately snug around the child. The Advocate 70 has true side impact, click and safe, but it also has the side impact cushion technology on the outside of the seat. Britex offers many accessories for our car seats, convertibles. We do offer an infant insert if it's going to be used starting at that 5 pounds instead of using a rear-facing only seat. Depending on the child's physical stature, it may need a little additional help. We have travel accessories for our seats as well. Sunshades, kick mats for inside your vehicle, storage pouches, vehicle seat protectors, the head and body pillow support, additional positioning device for the child. It's important to understand that these accessories are manufactured by Britex for Britex. So we are confident that our accessories do not affect the performance of our seats. Now, we can't say that if you're buying a non-Britex accessory to be used with a Britex seat. Where can you go for help with your car seat installations? The first place is to look for videos on the manufacturer's website. Many of them have great videos. They're broken down in pieces, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can find some for Britex on britexusa.com. You can find seat checkup events. You can find those by either visiting nhtsa.gov. safekids.org. And when you find an event and you go to that checkup event or fitting station, bring your car seat, bring the user guide to your car seat, the owner's manual to your vehicle, and if your child is born, please bring your child. That way they can make sure that your car seat's features are set up appropriate for your child's physical development and stature. Now, if you are expecting, they most certainly will make sure that you know how to install it properly, and they will talk to you about some of the basic uses of that car seat. The law is the legal minimum requirement. Laws vary across the country. It's important that we understand physics don't change from one side of a state line to the other. Best practice, the best way you can transport your child is to do it based on their age, weight, height, body development. There's no one key factor. North Carolina law says at 8 years of age they can go in a booster, come out of a booster seat. But you may have a very petite 8-year-old and they might not fit in a vehicle seatbelt appropriately. You can check state laws, again, at safekids.org or iihs.org. And just to kind of give you a quick glimpse, here is a look of the United States. And you can see that Florida, when a child reaches the age of 4, they are allowed to come out of a car seat / booster and go into a vehicle seatbelt. That's scary. I have a almost 6-year-old granddaughter, and there is no way I would permit her to sit in a vehicle seatbelt because she definitely would not be properly protected. If you travel, make sure you know at a minimum what the state laws are where you're going. But again, if you follow best practice, you'll never have to worry about whether you're complying with the child restraint law where you're going. Register your car seat with the manufacturer. That's the only way that they know how to contact you in the event of a recall or a safety notice. If you register it and you move, please give them a call. Every car seat comes with a card. You can mail it. You can give them a call or visit their website with the information on that card. I personally recommend either calling or going online. We all have had an instance in our life when we put a piece of mail in that mailbox. It doesn't always reach the end destination. And with that, I'd like to thank everybody today for participating. I don't know if we have any questions that we'd like to answer, Erica.
We do have a couple. One of the first ones was they wanted to know if their younger son can use the same car seat as one of their siblings.
That's an awesome question. And I'm going to rephrase it as, do car seats have expiration dates? Is there a certain amount of time that they can be used? And there is expiration dates to car seats. You will need to check with the particular manufacturer about the particular model of car seat that you are using. On average, I'm going to tell you a general rule of thumb is 6 years from date of manufacture. There are some car seats on the market that can only be used for 4 years from date of manufacture. And then there are car seats that can be used as long as 9 or 10 years. So you can check on the serial number label of your car seat. Sometimes it's there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah.
You're welcome. So hopefully that answers that question.
The other question was, it was towards the beginning, and I apologize I didn't have it written down, but it goes back to when you were talking about it was 71%, and then it was one of the very first car seats, and you wanted to know why it was lower for toddlers. I'm not sure if you remember back into the beginning of the PowerPoint, and I apologize I didn't have my note written down.
Why is it lower for toddlers? You know, that's a really good question. Toddlers, as they tend to get a little bit larger in size, it's usually around the younger child sometimes has a little bit more misuse, such as they will turn them forward facing much too early, which can result in more significant injuries to the spine and head than potentially maybe that toddler could receive. But that's a very interesting question.
Just a couple more.
Sure.
What would be a good option to go from a convertible to a booster? They liked the Frontier, but they weren't sure if that would work for them.
Okay. And we'll use the Frontier as an example, and there are other brands and models out there. The Frontier actually is a forward-facing only seat, and it starts at the age of 2 and 25 pounds, and it goes all the way to 85 pounds to an internal, using the internal harness, and then it converts. You take the harness out and can use it as a high back booster until 120 pounds. So that type of seat, known as a combination seat, or we refer to it as a harness to booster seat, kind of gives you a little bit more longevity for your invested dollar. That particular seat has an expiration life of 9 years.
Great. Another one was, they have, this participant has the Honda Civic, and they want to know if the roundabout would fit in a small compact car.
We actually have some friends who have a Honda Civic and used a Boulevard 70 in their Honda Civic and did not have any fit issues. Again, our convertibles are very compact, so little fitment issues rear or forward facing.
And then the last question that we have, and if anybody else asks a question, we'll definitely get back to you via email. But the last question that we have for today is, if a car only has a latch on the outer seats and none in the middle, which is safer to use?
Okay. That is another great question. There is a huge perception that latch is safer than a vehicle seat belt, but the safest way to install your car seat, latch or seat belt, is the one that you can get the best proper installation with. So if you have no restrictions in your back seat, one child, you want to put them in the center and you don't have latch there and only a seat belt, that's perfectly fine as long as you get that firm installation less than 1 inch left to right, front to back. Latch was brought to the market to make installations easier for caregivers, so you don't have to know where to route the seat belt, how to lock the seat belt. Latch took a lot of those things away or out of the equation, but unfortunately it's not in every position. So whichever one you can get a proper installation. Keep in mind that lower anchors in the vehicle of latch do have weight capacities that are dictated by the vehicle manufacturers. So if your child's forward facing and I'm going to say above 40 pounds, check with your vehicle manufacturer to see if you should convert to a seatbelt installation.
Okay, great. Thank you. So with that, we just wanted to say thank you to all of our participants and offer you all a $10 coupon off of your next order. You just need to enter in Concierge 10 with your order, and then you'll get $10 off, and it's valid until the 25th. And we really want to thank Sarah. We really appreciate you being here and helping us out and giving us all this great information. I hope everybody has a great day, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach us at social@babyh.com, and we'd be glad to help you.
Thank you,
Erica.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody.
You too. Thank you.